going to start by making the sauce since it needs about 30 minutes to simmer, and that's the perfect amount of time to assemble our meatballs and get them cooked. Now this is not your known as 7-hour Sunday gravy, nor is it meant to be. That's another video for another time. So let's start by adding 2 tablespoons of olive oil to a saucepan, get that heated up, and then add our garlic, red pepper flake, and give that a little toast, and then put in your dried oregano. When the garlic starts to get golden brown, we're going to add 3 pre-sized tablespoons of tomato paste, or that much. Go ahead and mix that up with the oil, and then it's time to add our crushed tomatoes. Being careful not to splash tomato sauce all over your kitchen. When that comes up to a simmer, go ahead and add that large sprig of basil and mix to combine. Turn the heat to medium low, let that simmer, or come up to a simmer, and then we'll adjust with a little salt. No sugar needed on that. Here's our ingredients for the meatballs, and yes, that is a zucchini. We're going to start by making a panade, which is a mixture of whole milk and bread, and that's going to keep your meat proteins from shrinking and drying out. So we're going to retain some more moisture with these meatballs, and that's what we're really going for here. I want a real juicy meatball. So cube up 4 slices of white bread, half inch cubes, and add about a cup of milk to that. We're going to need to let this sit for about 10 minutes so the bread absorbs the milk. So we'll turn our attention to the rest of the ingredients. Some flat leaf parsley, go ahead and chop that up fairly fine, and we're looking for a 1/4 cup. Next, we're going to turn our attention to the garlic cloves. I'm going to start by taking that woody end off of the root, and then with the flat end of the knife, go ahead and give it a whack to remove the skin from the garlic clove, and then we're going to go ahead and mince this up fairly fine. We don't want huge chunks of garlic in our meatballs. I don't know, maybe you do. These are your meatballs. Parmesan Reggiano and Pecorino Romano. The Parm has a nice mild nutty flavor, whereas the Pecorino Romano, that definitely is more of a full flavor, salty, earthy, kind of has a nice funk to it, and I mean that in the tastiest sort of way. Whole milk ricotta, this is a mild, soft cheese. This is another moisture agent that will help keep our meatballs moist. Along with, yep, there's the zucchini. Alex French Guy Cooking, his YouTube channel, he's got a recipe on there that he talks about his grandmother using zucchini to keep her meatballs juicy. So we want just the white fleshy part, so I'm not grating too far down so I don't get the seeds. Now we'll turn our attention back to some traditional ingredients like eggs. Go ahead and crack 2 eggs in there, give them a whisk. Hit them with a little bit of salt, but you don't need too much because you've got the saltiness from the Romano. That's going to help out. Now we're going to go ahead and mix everything into the bowl. And you can mix and match with the Parm and the ricotta. Parm and the Romano. I'm going 2 and 2 on the tablespoons, but you might want to go 3 and 1, 1 and 3, 4 and 0. These are your meatballs. Go ahead and experiment. Lastly, we're going to add the panade. If there was any excess milk hanging around, go ahead and drain that before using the back of a fork to beat into a paste. Go ahead and mix up all the ingredients, and now we're going to add our beef. I'm using 80-20, 80% lean, 20% fat, and this is a mixture of chuck, sirloin, and brisket. Now I'm adding the meat last because, and I've already mixed up all the other ingredients because I don't want to overwork the meat. You can tend to, overwork the meat and make it a little dense, your meatballs become a little dense. You see me using my hand like a paddle here just to gently incorporate. Now time to make the meatballs. I'm going for 2-ounce meatballs a piece. You don't need to be this precise. You can eyeball it, use a scoop, whatever you like. But the main takeaway here is not to overwork the meat as you make the meatballs here. Just gently make them into spheres, put them on a cookie sheet. You get 24 there, and like I do with chocolate chip cookies, when there's a little bit of extra dough, I tend to make a couple larger cookies, or meatballs in this case. 425-degree oven, we're going for an internal temp of 165. Should take between 9 and 11 minutes, but since we're using temp, I'm definitely using a thermometer. Don't want to overcook them, tends to dry them out. And there they are. So that's it. 45 minutes from prep to plate. You've got yourself a perfect comfort food meal on any weeknight. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this one. Be safe.